All right. You know love's amazing, right? Love is something that you can feel. It's tangible. You feel when you're not feeling it so much, you're aware of it. When you're feeling it, you're aware of it. It's something that you can actually measure with your perceptors. When we feel love, we laugh, we cry, we create. When we feel God's love, I cry. That's my MO. Maybe you don't, but it's just such an overwhelming experience. We know metaphysically there's only love. There's only love. Okay. We move, we have our being, we live it. There's only love. Yet, we don't always feel it. Today we're talking about self-love. And this is a very delicate subject because we all love love. We love to be loved. We love to love someone else. But when it comes to self-love, we kind of get stumped a bit, understanding and defining it. So we have to go back to how we're loved by God. I want to start with that first. That God accepts us exactly as we are. You realize that? When you have that moment of connecting and opening to Spirit, there is no, yeah, you shoulda. There's always, come on, baby. I love you. I got you. There's that personal, that's when God feels like our mother, father, when we have that personal connection. So we feel this beautiful acceptance by Spirit, and when we feel it, we're fed. And then what comes up within us is this desire to be greater. Do you know? The minute we are fed to overflowing with God, we know that there's something more for us. So now we have this space between being totally accepted exactly as we are and this innate desire to be more. Do you see? And something funny happens in that space when we're starting to reach to be the greater. Between the acceptance and the divine, we feel perhaps a little bit uncertain. Last month we worked a lot about having anything we desire. Remember, working on success. What we can conceive, what we can honor, what we want to invest our energy in, we can do. It's guaranteed and absolutely assured. But when we feel that God loves me exactly as I am and I desire to be greater, sometimes in that space there's this wee little bit of doubt that begins to move through. And it begins to undermine that knowing that we have, that we can absolutely be successful in anything that we choose. Do you all understand what I'm speaking of?
Yes.
All right. Sometimes it may be that the journey of change is too long, the journey to become what we need to be. Maybe we think, oh, this is too much. Sometimes we begin to feel we're not prepared for it. We're not trained enough to go to this new expression that we're seeking. And this is when self-love becomes so important. All right. So I'm going to talk about self-love, and I'm going to give you some steps. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right. First of all, we all know how to comfort ourselves, right? Mac and cheese, meatloaf, ice cream, all those comfort foods. We know how to do that. We know how to comfort ourselves by going shopping, right, ladies? Yes. You know, we go out and we buy shoes or something beautiful just to make ourselves feel better. Guys, I don't know, would you buy fishing gear, lures, something simple? Motorcycles. Just a little comforting, to comfort us. We also will get lost in a TV program or a book where someone else's drama is bigger than ours. So we're comforted in that. The main point is that comfort is an aspect of love, but it is not love. Comfort only occurs when you're already in distress. Do you understand? You know, so when you're in distress, you comfort yourself. But that really isn't self-love, and that typically is the only thing that we are trained to do. We're trained to comfort ourselves, comfort our children. We were comforted as children. You know, it's just this natural process. So we need to learn to move from that state of simple comfort into a more active and proactive state of self-love. So breathe. I will tell you I am not qualified to speak to you on this subject, but I will give you what Spirit gave me to share with you. I too am acutely aware, as I prepare for this service, that I'm not as attentive to loving myself as I should be. I love my spirit. Oh, I love my spirit. I'll do anything for God. God asks me to do something, I'm all in. I'm 1,000%. There's no doubt. There's no doubt I'm going to do it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in me at all. But self-love? Interesting. First thing they said for us to do, in order to become saturated with love, we need to let our senses become alive. And this is not something you would normally think about. But they said, wake up your senses. If you walk into a room and you are smelling and listening and seeing and taking everything in, you're literally taking the ethers of love out of the air and you're pulling it into your body to serve you. Just breathe it in. Just breathe it in. Do you know what I'm talking about? As a child, we traveled all the time. If we weren't moving, we were on the road for some reason. And the sound of clinking dishes and the smell of coffee and somebody's bacon and eggs. Whenever I smell that diner smell and I hear those noises, I get excited. I'm on the move. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going somewhere. You know? It's this expectancy that life is going to change yet again. It feeds me because it fed me then. But everywhere we go, we can be taking in newness. And when Spirit was speaking with me this morning, I was being shown how even in our own homes, you know, you'll walk into, pick a room, any room in your home, it doesn't matter which one. Walk into that room and look at everything. You're going to see stuff you've never seen before. You're going to say, oh my God, how long has that angel been there? Who put this here? What's going on in that corner? You know, you'll be awake to things that you have not seen. And they may either be feeding you, or you may need to release them. You see? But awake to the food that's all around us. Awaking our senses. Our senses keep us in touch with the God energy all around us. So breathing that in is our first step. Filling yourself up. Got it? How easy is that? So easy. Can you do it? Yes. All right. The next step is a little bit more challenging. This is learning to accept ourselves as God accepts us. When we wake up in the morning and we are aware of self, do we look in the mirror and go, oh, I just love you, you're fabulous, and I accept you exactly as you are? Most of us are saying, let's just get myself dressed so I can get out in the day to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And at the end of the day, thank God I got it done. But there really is not that sense of accepting that this space that you occupy is a holy ground. You're standing on holy ground. It's your life. And accepting that in this day, I'm going to take this beautiful being out to express love, to receive love, and to change, to evolve. Do you see the difference in perception? Do you know how differently you would approach the world if you accepted yourself before you walked out that door? It'd be different. It would be different. I know sometimes I'm rushing out the door, often, and it's this year joy and enthusiasm, okay. and my prayer is, God, make me look good by the time I get there, because I couldn't get the makeup on right. You know? And it all happens in the car. There's a transformation of energy. But what if I had accepted and then walked out? The other thing that they wanted us to be aware of is acceptance at an even deeper level. Accepting yourself in those moments when you're facing change. Because this is how we change as human beings. We realize that we need to become different. And we feel the call of our spirit to change something. We don't quite know how to make that first step. You know what most of us do? When we feel that energy, we start looking around at everything around us and we go, something must be wrong where I am. There must be something really bad here. Let me find it. Let me make it really, really bad. Let me pick on it. And then I'll have a reason for leaving. How many of you leave jobs because you stay there to the point that you hate it, instead of leaving at the moment you felt the guide to leave? I'm done. Yee-hee. Hey, boss, I'm done. I'm going to be looking for another job because I'm graduating myself. Do you see? We don't. We stay till it's uncomfortable, and can't take it anymore. Now I don't like my boss, and I don't like my coworkers. Now I don't even like the garbage man who comes and empties my trash. Instead of just moving. Think about elementary school. Think about the little 5th grader, end of school year. Did you pass? Everybody asked, did you pass? And what if the little 5th grader said, no? Would you go, oh well, keep at it. Another year, maybe you'll pass next year. No, you'd be heartbroken. Oh my God, I didn't pass, what's wrong? Summer school, come on, join us, let's keep moving. But because we don't have someone graduating us in our adult life, we stay. Instead of, at our evaluation every year, we should be deciding if it serves us. Not did I dance well enough for you. But did this serve my soul journey? Huh. And wouldn't it be great to tell your boss, hey, you know what? I think I've got another 6 months for you. At the end of 6 months, I'm going to be popping out because I feel like I'm done. Don't have a job yet. Just giving you a heads up. So we can work toward that. And then I'll be going on. Wouldn't that be great? Don't you think your boss would go, awesome? If you came in the energy that I am suggesting, there is no threat. There is no condemnation. I don't have to make you bad for me to leave. I don't have to make you bad for me to leave. Once when I was single and had gotten a divorce, I met this young man. It was just so sweet, and we started dating, and it was from Spirit. It was like Spirit just brought us together. It's like, okay, this is great. We had a great time. It was just so compatible, so sweet, so nice. And he was talking marriage. It was great. And then I was meditating one morning, and Spirit said very calmly, it's done. It's done. So we were having dinner, and I said, hey, guess what I got in meditation? I'm excited. Not because, he was the sweetest pie. But I'm following guidance here. I'm a metaphysical girl. And I am really trusting the universe now at this point with all I have. And I said, hey, we're supposed to split. We're done. Hasn't it been great? And he went, yeah, I guess it has. And he just moved into this space of, okay, I feel it too. There was no arguing, there was no fighting, there was no division of property. It was just like, I feel it too. There was not one bad thing that happened that year we were together. Not one bad thing. He was not a bad person. I was not a bad person. We came together, we had a great time, we graduated. Yay! Going to 6th grade. Self-love. Not going into this space where we have to make things bad for us to change. Because if you make somebody else bad, you're making you bad. You're making you bad for staying too long. You're making you bad for being in this situation in the first place. So just loving the conditions of your life. Loving yourself when you go out, and loving the conditions of your life. Everybody got that? It's so easy, isn't it? Yes. Yes. If I had ever had an employee come and talk to me that way, I would have been delighted. Just delighted. Probably would have given them a raise for the next 6 months. It would have been great. We are moving from good to greater good when we do all that. All right. And we know that the ends and the means are the same. How we go about accomplishing something is how we're going to find it when we arrive. If we're stressed to get there, we will be totally stressed when we arrive there. You guys, the basic metaphysics, you know that. So if we accept and love ourselves along the journey to get to our destination, will not we be met with the greatest love for self and where we arrive? Okay. Nurture versus comfort then becomes our key. Nurture versus comfort. I would almost like to encourage you to begin thinking about the next moment when you feel I need comfort food, or I need to find a good escape novel or an escape plan. Stop right then and ask yourself, how might I nurture myself instead? I must need some food. I must need something. How could I nurture versus comfort? Maybe there's something to accept about myself. Maybe I need to go honor myself in some way. Feeding yourself rather than consoling. And it's unique to you. Jesus said you can't make a bed that fits all men. If you made a bed that fit yourself, you've done well. So it's unique to you, how you nurture yourself. We're learning how to nurture our children in this society. I was not nurtured. I was comforted. If you didn't absolutely have to have it, shut up and go sit down. Just be still. Not, oh, do you have an interest in that? Let me give you a little thing to encourage your interest. Let me get something for you so you can expand a little bit. That just is occurring now. Thank goodness for our children. But now we set the biggest example. And don't we want to be nurtured just like we nurture our children today? Okay, so that's on us to do. All right. God provides all of our needs whenever we allow it. We know that, right? Perhaps allowing self-love to become one of those needs. Then you will be always in the pocket of being taught. How simple is that? Okay. Self-love is all about acknowledging who you are. Spirit said, you never want to negate yourself. Only through our realization of self will we find our place in the oneness. Only through the realization of self will you find your place in oneness. If we are negating that uniqueness that we are, or making it not as important as somebody else's uniqueness, then we're never going to find the radiant flower that we are to become. My dad, 2 nights ago, I guess, I was meditating, and I was lifted up by my grandmother. My dad, who's on the other side, he had me look back down at all these people, and he was showing me my mom. My mom's getting close. And I saw this energy like a flower popping up over her crown chakra. And he said, that's what everyone does right before they cross over. Their spirit opens up like a flower. And I could see all these other beings with little closed crowns, little tight buds, and then 1 or 2 of them beginning to pod. That happens right before you're lifted over. And it was like, great, that was great. So I saw my mom, saw her little flowering, she's getting ready. But why? Why do we wait to flower at the crossing? We could love ourselves so deeply and dearly that the flowering could be as we walk. So that our human self and our spirit self are one. The uniqueness I am, that beautiful uniqueness I am, which is spirit and in flesh. I'm in flesh. I love popcorn. I love physical things. I'm in flesh. When they are one, then heaven and earth are one, and then I can flower and still walk. But it takes the self-love to do that. So we are not on a journey of denying self. We're in a journey of evolving self. When Jesus crossed over, or before Jesus crossed over at the Last Supper, in the King James Version, he told his disciples, he said, I give you a new commandment. Love one another even as I have loved you. And how did Jesus love everybody? He accepted them. He saw their divinity. He met all manner of people who were riddled with guilt and condemnation and issues. All manner of people. It wasn't just the pristine that he gathered with. In his disciples, there were all manner of people as well. They all had issues. And he accepted each one of them, loved them exactly where they are, and saw the divinity in them. Love one another as I have loved you. In the Aquarian, he says something a little bit differently. He says, let's see, this is chapter 161. I ask you to love one another as you love yourselves, and then the world will know you are sons of God. Love one another as you love yourselves, and then the world will know you are sons of God. So if we are not loving ourselves, how much love can we give to one another? Not much. Even if everybody else is our priority. If we're not loving ourselves, what are we giving to everybody else? Duty, obligation? Comfort, yes. Comfort. But love one another as we love ourselves. It's a daunting task, do you not think? Because then we run the risk of, well, if I indulge myself, I don't want to indulge myself, I don't want to spoil myself, I don't want to become a brat. You won't. You won't. Love nurtures the very essence of who you are. Love nurtures everything about you. So we begin knowing once again the love of God fills us completely, yet we have this innate urge to grow. In this space where we are in movement, I am not going to stay where I am, but I love myself exactly where I am. I'm going to move to a new space. I'm going to love myself in that space. I'm going to move to a new space. I'm going to love myself in that space, and that space, and that space. And what will happen is what you thought was a goal is simply a step on a long journey. Once you reach your goal, you get to rest for a little bit. And guess what happens? There's another goal in front of you, and another goal in front of you, and another goal. Any of you who have had children understand what I'm speaking. It does not end. Even I, who am seasoned, to my mother, am still a part of her process. Do you understand? Who is very seasoned. Life is a process. It's just a journey, a beautiful journey of evolution. A beautiful journey of life. Can you feel within a desire to love yourself a little deeper? Can you see that there's a space that you could?
Yes.
All right. You ready to go within?
Yes.
All right. Let's do that now. Take a breath. And I want you to feel that beautiful column of light just engulfing you, so you are safe in the heart of God. Just you. And as the light begins to come down around you, it'll have a certain color, the perfect color. And as it becomes strong and bright, you won't even feel the energy field of the person next to you. You're in your own space. And I want you just to feel this beautiful love of God and open your heart. Feel the top of your head opening, your beautiful flower. I receive the love of God into my body, mind, and spirit now. Just let it move into you. Sweet. Feel yourself in this gentle space and let yourself lift up just a little bit. We're going to lift you just a little higher into a higher consciousness. Lifting yourself up. And just imagine that you can just pause in this beautiful bright light. Whatever appears before you, a cloud, a space, it doesn't matter. Lift up and pause. From the higher vantage point now, let your vision go to you. Take a look at all you are in this moment. Things you're struggling with, issues you have not yet resolved, things that are taking your attention. And imagine you can just step one step back from all those issues and look at them. And say, wow, how good am I? Look what I am taking on. Look at these beautiful things that I am going to heal and conquer and accomplish. These are good. If you choose to make them easier, breathe in that beautiful light of love and breathe that energy into these issues. Good for me for taking them on. And now I send God love so they can be easier. Let your focus come back to you now, your personality. I want you just to look and feel. Do you even feel that anyone knows you in this world? Do you feel that you know yourself? Choose in this moment to begin to love you. I look at the being I am, and I see greatness. I see great heart, great love, great power. Whatever you see, you will see greatness. This being I behold is fully capable of accomplishing all that I have seen. And I love this being. And imagine you can send a ray of love to this essence of self. Let everything collapse into oneness yet again, as it's just you in the column of light and God love. And as you become awake, feel there is so much more for you to do, to be, to express, to experience, so much more. And as you feel that you are so capable. So capable. Nothing is withheld. I now choose to be me, to nurture the essence of my beingness, and to express who I am. Breathe and just gently let yourself come down the column of light until you're back into your chair. Feel the chair that holds you. Feel the physicalness, feel the weight of your body. You are on the earth plane to demonstrate light, to create, to enjoy. You are here for a reason. Help yourself. Feel. Feel your vibration. Take a deep breath. And repeat after me if you choose. I do love myself.
I do love myself.
And all is good in my world.
And all is good in my world.
Okay. How's it feel? Good? All right. Breathe and open your eyes. All right. Homework. Remember the first step? Keep your senses awake. Awake. Walk through one room in your house. Pick a room and try it and see if there isn't a lot there that you've missed. Just be awake. Honor where you are in your world, and honor yourself in the morning before you leave. How fabulous is this light, and I'm the only one on the planet that can take this light out into the world. The only one. Wow, how cool is that? That's cool. I'm the only one. And you're the only one that can take yours out. How cool. Honor where you are. Honor the light you take out. And love yourself. If you will do that, guess what will happen when you interact with all your brothers and sisters? You will only have love to give them. That'll be all you have. So easy. Say, yay, God.